Supply and demand. Before I get into this one, I'm just going to say, I love the country I was born in, Canada. The biggest reason isn't because of Niagara Falls, the CN Tower, the Canadian Rockies, of which embarrassingly I have never visited at the time of this writing. The reason I love Canada isn't because I grew up in its biggest city and know all its nooks and crannies. The reason I love Canada is because my mom lives there. My friends and family live there. I found the woman of my dreams there. That's the biggest reason Canada is the best country on earth. Another, perhaps not as important as the rest I mentioned but still pretty important, is the fact that because I was born here in Canada, I can one day be Prime Minister. I believe in the institutions that are established here. They were long fought for to be put in place. Every election cycle I'll put in my ballot. Even if my candidate loses, I will understand the winner still loves Canada for their own different reasons, but there are fundamental ones I'm sure we agree on. Even though the Prime Minister may not be the one I voted for, doesn't mean I believe their government hates me. I don't believe that there will be a mob waiting outside my house because I voted wrong. That Prime Minister that I may not have voted in, still loves, maybe not me in particular, but every Canadian. I'll just have to wait until the next cycle to try again, perhaps by then I might change my mind. Now that I've put in this disclaimer, I'll begin. Inflation. The forces of supply and demand are the most pervasive forces in the universe. That may sound insanely sweeping and perhaps ridiculous, but I'm going to go out on a limb and declare with certainty that I'm right. How much would you pay for the air you breathe? You don't, do you? It's free. Not all air is free, however. The air inside your house is climate controlled, you pay your electric bill to make it so. The air outside, however, is basically free. The reason is because the planet is full of it. There is an overabundance of free-flowing air in the world. The moment it becomes scarce, the cost goes up. That dynamic is found everywhere, including the money you use. It's a concept as old as time itself. For the time being, I'll focus on the here and now. The phenomenon of prices rising is inflation. This could happen in at least 4 ways that I know. They are what I would refer to as oversupply of money, decline in use of money, particular commodity scarcity, and all commodity scarcity. When there is an oversupply of money and no increase in use, this causes prices wholesale to rise. It's a defense mechanism. Think of the central bank as a giant sponge and the money supply as water. As the currency decreases in buying power, the central bank begins to suck up excess money in the supply to alleviate the loose funds. Higher interest rates also play into this. The decline in use of money is very similar to oversupply. However, it's not caused by the central bank printing too much but by the general population declining in the use of the currency. In a properly run financial system, along with higher prices, the central bank would raise interest rates to alleviate the liquidity. This may not always work, however. If the population begins to literally burn the money, higher prices and interest rates can't fix that. The third way I know inflation occurs is when a particular commodity raises in prices faster than other commodities. The two off the top I can think of is housing and fuel. Just like with money, scarcity, or higher demand, raises the value of these items. Scarcity can come in 3 ways: undersupply, overdemand, and inaccessibility. I'm going to refer to housing, although the examples I give will work just as well for fuel or anything else. If there are 1 million people looking for a home and there are only 750,000 homes available, 250,000 people will have to remain living with their parents. However, before that decision is made, the market, which is people buying and selling, will decide what they can afford. In this scenario, the price for a home is excessively high. One reason for this is lack of new home construction, the other I'll speak to later. If the numbers I supplied were reversed, the price for a home would drop drastically. This is all assuming, however, that everyone looking for a home can physically access every home. If there are 2 identical mansions in separate parts of your province, it could happen that one may be priced less than half of the other. Why this is possible is because more people want to live in one than the other. The reasons for this could be as follows. The region with the cheaper home is less sought after. If more people in one region are looking for homes, the prices for those homes will rise. The particular reasons people favor regions differently vary widely, of course. One factor is accessibility. If one region is difficult to reach, not only will the population of that region be small, but the housing prices will be low. That's why the further away from a major population center you go, home prices begin to drop. This scenario resembles what most people in the economy experience. Now, in terms of all commodity scarcity, if the delivery system of goods and people fails, I'm including personal transport infrastructure as well, access to all the commodities surrounding the delivery would be affected. In this case, prices would rise across the entire economy. This would have nothing to do with an oversupply of currency, just an excessive demand for all commodities and undersupply. Now, the example I just gave would most likely be in the event of a wide-sweeping disaster. What's more common is particular commodity scarcity. One in particular that concerns me most is housing. In a later chapter, I'll explain the connection between housing prices and transport infrastructure.